gaze. Grace is our next mate match, and I think she's perfect for Dane. Grace Seaver, self-described pet lover, will be bringing 2 gerbils, a fish, and a parakeet. Volunteers at the local animal shelter when she's not working double shifts as a nurse for an independent living facility. Believes in a higher power, says prayer led her to apply for the position. Ansen rattled off details as he flipped through the application. Doesn't drink, smoke, or gamble. Gamble? Why, are you sure about this one? You don't think she's a bit too wholesome for one of my wolves? Winona shook off his doubt. It made sense for him to question her. She'd have to make him see what she saw in Grace. She's the product of a strict religious upbringing. She's young and unfulfilled with her life as it is. She's using all the tools she knows, but she needs to find herself, her purpose, her future, her fate. And she knows the same thing I do. She can't do it under the shadow of her past. I understand, but how will a female like that fit into our... He stopped as if just realizing how ridiculous his question was. How will a female trying to find herself fit in with a pack full of males trying to do the same? She smiled. Perfectly, I'd say. Isn't that really what all mating is, anyway? At its core, finding yourself, finding your fate, your place, your home, your peace. What she wouldn't give for the opportunity to feel that. Maybe that was another reason she wanted to help others so much. Yours, Ansen added, his gaze seeming to dig into hers. She stared at him, questioning. It's simpler than that. It's about finding what's yours. And keeping it. He nodded. Because when you find yours, everything else falls into place. It should, but the truth was it didn't always happen that way. Sometimes you found yours, and yours found you unacceptable. How come you never told me about the Strida? He asked suddenly. Winona's throat closed around a sob. That choking feeling that unexpectedly steals your breath when you think you're fine, but your body says you're not. The Strida. She knew he'd ask sooner or later after Matilda revealed the details to Hank. The Strida was the song only a mate could cause her to hear, a thrumming that became part of her, as regular as breathing. For grasshopper shifters, it meant they'd found their one and only. Because I never heard it. Lies, her grasshopper screeched inside. Never lie to mate. Ansen frowned, his brow furrowing over his dark eyes. You never heard the Strida when we... Winona couldn't look at him while she lied to his face, so she busied herself straightening some papers. No. It was better this way. Better that he didn't know the truth. That every time he was nearby, the thrumming inside her head became so extreme, she wondered if he could somehow hear it too. That over the years, both her head and heart ached with it, to the point that she'd begged invisible gods to make it fade away. Sometimes it did. Sometimes, when she'd gone long enough without seeing or hearing from him, the Strida became so faint that she wondered if she'd imagined its torture. Matilda says grasshoppers hear the Strida when they meet their mates, Ansen said, his voice firm. Winona nodded, still avoiding his gaze. That's true. It's not as common as it used to be. I think there is less mating among my people these days. She forced a new smile to her cheeks and found his skeptical eyes across the desk. That reminds me. How are the wolves taking to the idea that one of their own is mated to a Muller? Any trouble on that end? Ansen's frown didn't ease a millimeter. No. The pack is accepting Hank's mate just fine. They know the difference between an enemy and a friend. A bittersweet emotion rippled through Winona. She was genuinely happy Matilda had found her place among the wolves. She only wished things could have gone that well for her, too. I'm so glad to hear that. She deserves this happiness. Ansen narrowed his eyes.